from Prince Abubakar Audu down to Wada, there has never been a plan for Igala leadership succession. Achema belongs to a political party, but with the love of the Igala people behind his mind. The Igala leadership structure has failed to organize the succession plan. The Okun, the Ebira, if you look at them very well, they are successfully, which is, for me, I don't have problem with that, placing their people where they ought to be.
So the Igala people should learn from that.
The Igala people ought to learn from that. God gave us the grace, the opportunity for us to be the leaders, but maybe because we got it on a platter of gold, we didn't value it.
All right, a very good day to you and welcome to yet another episode of the podcast, What Now? My name is Dan Sofo Jr. and today we have in the studio Mr. Christopher Sunday Abutu. He's a lecturer and a postgraduate student of Prince Abubakar Audu University. And he's also a lecturer with Kogi State Polytechnic, Lokoja. Mr. Christopher, you're welcome to What Now?
Thanks for having me again. Good to see you once more.
All right, thank you for coming again. Today we'll be looking at the leadership structure of the Igala people, especially from pre-colonial to what we have now and what we envisage to have in time to come. And so, Mr. Christopher, let's go straight to the discussion. Give us a brief overview of what you think about the leadership structure of the Igala kingdom, talking about the history of leadership in the area.
Well, thanks one more time. The truth of the matter is that from a little bit of personal research, I have come to the realization that the Igala people have failed to even understand what God has bestowed on them as a people.
Why do you say so?
I have said so because, unfortunately, very unfortunately, that we have reduced our strength to just the modern democratic political leadership in the state, and not even in the state, in Nigeria as a whole. By that I mean that if we can sit down to have a retrospection, to think deeply from the history of the Igala kingdom, pre-colonial, we will know that what God has bestowed on us as a people is more than what we are even agitating for.
Okay.
For instance, pre-colonial, before the advent of the colonial system that disintegrated the Igala people by the indirect rule that the Atas, the first Ata or the subsequent Ata tried to fight, you will understand that the Igala people were known to be soldiers, warriors, and the organizers of the whole north central region of Nigeria, the present north central of Nigeria. Prior to the pre-colonial, the Igalas were covering Kogi State as a whole, Delta State, Benue State, Niger State, part of Edo State, and Nasarawa State. Even down to Abuja, the boundary between Nigeria, Kogi State and Abuja, but that was not fully pronounced. But if you look at it deeply, you also understand that the Ata was seen as the administrative and also the spiritual head of the kingdom that covers those areas. Okay. Even up to this material time, if you go to Guachiku and some part of Delta State, you have the Igalas there. In fact, recently the bishop of Nsukka Diocese did a narration and he gave credence to the Igala people, where the Igala people were used or were helping them to get revenue by the means of using masquerade to collect revenue at the river bank, Onitsha, Anambra, and all of that. Don't also forget that the how do you call it now? The Oba of Benin, is the Oba now, or the King of Benin? Let me use that concept. The King of Benin, at maybe the 14th century, had already seen the Ata of Igala as one of the key, what's it called? Key, how do you call it now?
Paramount ruler.
Paramount ruler of Nigeria. in line with the Alafin of Uyo and the rest of them. That is why even up to today, the paramount ruler of Edo Kingdom still revere or respect the throne of the Ata of Igala. Do you understand? So before now, the Igalas were so coordinated, well structured administratively. In fact, the Igalas in the North Central, the present North Central of Nigeria, were seen as people with the best structure of administration. Even in war, the Igalas had their soldiers. The Igalas had their structure from the attack down to the list of persons where administration was taken systematically without anybody interfering.
So has all of these things changed now? Let's move down. Has all of these things changed? All of this you have explained.
Post-colonial. In fact, let me also, before I move post-colonial, you will see clearly that before the colonial masters were able to invade the Igala nation, the people that the Ata had already appointed to assist him in the day-to-day administration of the Igala kingdom were the ones that were used to subjugate, to profane the temple of the Ata. That was why these people were able to get into.
So there were forms of betrayals from some
so
persons of the
exactly personal interest, and that personal interest we are still having it up to date. Up to date, we are still having that personal interest. So by way of connecting history, you can see clearly that the colonial masters couldn't have enjoyed, couldn't have taken over or given us the indirect rule if we were united as a people. So what we were lacking, even with our structure, was unity of purpose. What we were lacking, I'm not saying this to maybe make it look like the Igala is not united. I'm only out to say that no matter what anybody may be thinking of, the Igala people, yesterday, today, and tomorrow, the Igala is still formidable to have whatever it is that they want to have.
So what do you people have now as regards leadership? What is the current situation of leadership history or leadership position in Kogi East as it
if you want to now? If you really want me to be subjective in my subjective in my answer, I will even tell you that before we even start looking for anything right now as a people, we should first of all go back to the drawing board to ask questions. Where did you get it wrong?
Okay. Have you ever gone wrong as Igala people?
Yes, we have. Even right now, we are still getting it wrong.
How, sir?
We are getting it wrong because we do not even know what we have.
Okay.
We are getting it wrong because we don't even value our culture and tradition. We are getting it wrong because we are trivializing and also modernizing the culture that united us. We are getting it wrong because the unity of purpose, even what we have that kept us together by way of ethics, that brings in fairness, that gives us justice. We have bastardized this to the extent that we don't even think that there is even a repercussion for our action as a people. So until this is settled, until we also go back to the drawing board where we got it wrong, even before the colonial masters came, for us to start tracing it and also give room for cultural inheritance and also leadership succession. That is another place we have also gotten it wrong.
Okay.
We have gotten it wrong totally.
So there has not been formidable leadership succession.
No leadership succession. Even post-colonial down to the modern political structure, you can see that from President Bakar Audu down to Wada, there has never been a plan for Igala leadership succession.
Yeah, but could that be related, or could that be could it be said that it as a result of different political parties coming into governance of?
If you look at it very well, when you say different political party, if we are even going to, I don't want to discuss it, but because you have asked me, I will say it. Achema versus Audu. Achema and Audu were never in the same political party. You can call that how do you call it? When you move into one party, when you are in another party,
the campaign,
when you are in another party, but you are embedded in another party.
Anti-party?
Yes, you can call it anti-party.
Okay.
But at the end of
it's like Achema was more of the Igala interest than the generality, the political party that he was on at that
Achema belongs to a political party, but with the love of the Igala people behind his mind. That you cannot betray. You cannot betray. He felt, yes, I belong to a political party, but I wouldn't have been who I am today without being from the Igala extraction. Okay. So Achema, yes, what party, NRC or what party, I can't remember his party again, supported Audu after he lost the election. You can call him a very bad politician, but the truth of the matter is that today, as we talk, yesterday, the governor of Enugu State, the camp. Today now, the governor of Bayelsa State, he has not the camp, but he has left his office. Taraba is leaving, Jos is leaving, and which other state again? Just left about 2 weeks ago. They have all left. All is because of interest. Yes. I do not have any issue with people having interest, but I want your interest to be for your people
and your kingdom.
And your kingdom.
All right, thank you so much. We'll take a short break now. Almost everyone is a leader in where you come from. So do you see anything wrong, specifically in the leadership structure in Kogi East?
Everything is wrong. Everything is wrong because first thing, we all, including myself, we have put personal interest before collective interest. We do not have that patriotic mindset for the Igala kingdom. Whatever you do to have money to buga, whatever you do to have money for people to see that you are a rich person, whatever you do to have money, if you can betray your brother to have money, yeah, for you to now to be seen as a leader. The only concept of leadership we have now is rebuild. Or we'll look at it from the angle of we don't even look at, okay, I don't even want to make it look like I am talking down on some leaders, political leaders in the Igala kingdom. Of all that has happened to the Ibaji people recently, look at the lackadaisical attitude that our people used to get to Ibaji people. Now, let me ask you, again, the issue of unity and love. When last have you seen any Igala politician visit the Basa people? But these are part of us. Until this purposeful leadership is synergized for the betterment of the Igala people, if you are not careful, the Basa people will leave the Igala kingdom. Look at it now. The Ibaji people. If you are not careful, the Ibaji people, they may not leave to say they want to go to Anambra, and they can also jump either. But of course, by reaction, we may not have their support. It means by implication, the Igala nation is just left with 7 local governments. So even in that 7 local government, how united are we?
So we don't have good leadership structure in the East.
As we talk at this material point in time, we do not have a leader that can stand in the place of Achema. When I'm talking about Achema, even Audu, we cannot even say that Audu gave us, in leadership connotation, Audu gave us what Achema gave us. Ibro didn't give us what Achema represented. Wada didn't give what Achema represented. And even all the political parties, be it PDP, APC, APC, everybody APC right now, none of them is even thinking to stand into the shoe of Achema. And so that is why you see. And sorry, I don't want to bring in the Igala, the author of Igala into this connotation, because he's a father. The highest he can do is to call his children to advice, and that is where I will call him out now, that he has to start calling. We know, of course, that the office of the paramount ruler or the author of Igala is right embedded in the office of the local government chairman. Of Ida. But of course, if we have a very strong leadership structure, when cultural leadership is being given or handed over to somebody by the people, no matter the urge or political maneuvering, we can subdue it.
So are we saying that the current Tata is not being, appointed by the people, by his people? Do you think it's a political,
No, it is not even about the Igala people alone.
Okay.
The staff of office of every first class, second one is being handed over by the state government. Ideally, it's not even supposed to be given by the...
And it's not supposed to be so.
No, I am saying, well, of course, how was Amo Boni given its staff of office? Now, is there any governor now that can say that he has the audacity to be in the Atakpa or in the shrine where the Ata will eat the king or will take over the mantle of leadership. But of course, if we trivialize our culture, see, let me tell you something. This has brought me, sorry, I want to skip a little bit. In this state, we have seen or we have heard where one or two persons, because of their personal interest, they have even taken some persons who are not supposed to know or see where our cultural deities are. They have taken them there.
You don't mean it?
Yes, for them to go and see how to subdue the Igala nation. I do not have empirical evidence to this claim, but if it is true, that is not supposed to be so. But whether it is true or not, we know that democratically, even the Sadana of Sokoto, the Kano, right now Kano is even having problem. But I am saying, even though we still have political undertone,
yes,
in the selection or who becomes the Ata of Igala, there are some sacred activities that should be alien to any person that is not within. Even though you are Igala, you are not even supposed to be.
So are these things exposed to people even outside the Igala kingdom?
No, I don't want us to discuss about the throne of the Ata right now.
Okay.
For obvious reasons.
Okay, let's move.
What I'm trying to say is that, in all sincerity, if anybody has ever desecrated the Igala culture by exposing some of those things that we revere so much for protection, some of those things that we revere so much for peace, for whatever you can call it, positive, ethically, yes, that was very, very wrong. But I am saying that even though the government has a hand, or must have a hand in who becomes the Ata, I am saying that we must, by every means necessary, respect the culture and tradition of the people.
Okay. All right. So I want to ask you briefly, has there been any leadership transition that has, influenced or has brought about, setback to the kingdom? A kind of transition that brought about division, setback to the kingdom of the Igala people? What I
see, sincerely, is simply because we do not even understand or know what God has, just like I said from my introduction, what God has done for us as a people. If we sat down, our leader sat down to really understand what God has given to us, even before the advent of colonialism, would have known or would have sat down to really reflect and also see leadership succession. You have a son. Your son celebrated birthday recently. You posted it, I saw. I have a son. So whatever that is running in our mind right now is that what kind of life should we live so that we can hand over a better life to our son? That also should move into the wider sphere, where you can say, first of all, identify yourself as an Igala man. If you have identified yourself as an Igala man, what ought you do? What is the next thing that you ought to do for the people, not for yourself, not for your children, and not for just your close family? So, in essence, what I'm trying to say is that the Igala leadership structure has failed to organize the succession plan
for the people.
For the people, no succession plan. Even pre-colonial, it is within a family. But even post-colonial, don't forget that post-colonial, because of the way we go about our leadership structure, Benue was considered above the Igala people. Now that was why you say that Igala was merged with the Benue people up until 1992, right? 1992 and 1993, before the creation of Kogi State. And then now we are in Kogi State, and so we had it. Of course, the population was there, but the inability of the Igala people to consider that God has given them a precious gift of population, of administration, we trivialize it to the extent that those who are supposed to see us to say good morning sir, are the ones now that are even spewing inanities before our very self.
So has this leadership problem caused division in your place, in the Igala people?
It is to your tent, O Israel. It is your tent, O Israel. Whatever you do that you bring bread to your father's house, that is where we are now. Whatever you can do to bring bread to your father's house, that is where you are. Okay. I am not saying this to denigrate the Igala people. I am only trying to say that before we start thinking of the Igala political structure, the Igala leadership structure,
yes,
down to politics, I want us to start looking at it from the strength God has given to us. The problem is that our bane as a people is that everybody wants to claim, even on social media. You know, at times if you want to post, you have to maybe consider, if I post this in, these are the people that are going to read it. It means we are respecting somebody that will call you to criticize you. You know, right now, who is that person that will say that this is the action I want to take, and if I take it, the highest authority in the Igala kingdom will call me to order?
Nobody.
We do not have it. Right now, who is that person that will say, you are a brother, both of you are brothers, you want to go for Senate? As I'm talking to you now, this material time, I know of about 6 Igala brothers that want to contest for Senate.
But it's not in the open yet.
No, it's not in them. I'm telling you from my own subjective view. So who is that person now, that leader, that can summon the courage to say, you are brothers, come. You are doing this, you are doing this. This is a record we have of you. This is a record we have of you. Yes, move over your popularity to your brother. This is the person. In Plateau State, for instance, let me tell you, Plateau State, down to Navy, all military parastatals, what they do is that they look at somebody who has a tendency to be where or to be there or here. They put you there. This is where we are lagging now. We are about 6 persons here. We want 10 persons here. We need 4 persons. You come and enter here. You are a graduate. You are here. This is. I'm telling you now. You can ask from anybody, especially the Biron people. You are here. Go here. You are a businessman. You have money. Okay, we want to give you 10 persons. You do this one. You, Navy, you want to go. Who is that person now? Even our brothers who are in the military, do they have that courage to say that, okay, but if you look at these other people now, you will see that even within the state government or even the federal government, the Okun, the Ebira, if you look at them very well, they are successfully, which is, for me, I don't have problem with that, placing their people where they ought to be.
So the Igala people should learn from that.
The Igala people ought to learn from that. God gave us the grace, the opportunity for us to be the leaders, but maybe because we got it on a platter of gold, we didn't value it. Okay. Now that we are learning in the hard way, this is the time for us now to start thinking. If you're a lawyer, if you're a son, how many Igala persons have you encouraged to become a lawyer? Yeah, if they are lawyers, how many persons have you encouraged to have a political appointment as a lawyer? If you're a businessman, how many persons are you paying the school fees? And if you are paying, a salary. And if you have money, how many persons are you? See, let me tell you, leadership succession is not something that any kingdom should play with.
Okay, let me ask you, what do you think the younger generation should learn from the failure of the past leaders? Especially from those in Igala, from the Igala Axis.
First of all, we must learn from the resilience of our forefathers, the paramount rulers, the Igala, the Ata of Igalas, right from the first one, the second one, the third one, down to the present one that we have. I love the present Ata of Igala for one thing, his humility, his calmness. But at times we want him to top some radicality in his on his throne, not necessarily to us, to outsiders, but within the kingdom. Anybody that errs, make a pronouncement. Any of your subjects that errs, make a pronouncement. We also look at it. The younger generation must also look at it from the aspect of preserving our cultural entity. By the way, what I see recently is individualism in promoting cultural activities.
Yeah.
You see, do we have anything called Igala National Day? I want to see a situation whereby we have what we call Igala National Day.
But we had Italo at that time.
Yeah, you say we had. You know how Italo scattered? We used to do Italo in OLS. From there, it moved to KSU. Now, where is the
somehow
Italo?
politicized?
It has been politicized, And then look at it. You were there at who is who in the Igala Kingdom in Abuja.
Yeah.
The question I want to ask is that what is the end use of that who is who? End reason of that who is who in Igalaland? December 13th, there will be Oma Igala by Sunday Atabo. What will be the end product of that program? Is that program meant to synergize the Igala people? that will bring development to the Igala people. Do you know what God has given to us in the Igala kingdom? If God has blessed you as an Igala person, use it. Not necessarily money. There are some people who do not have money, but they have that wisdom to unify the family.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So I'm looking at, we must not even be, see, let me tell you, I've always told those who care to know, an Igala man must not become a governor before the Igala person, as it is right now. Our problem is not governorship. Our problem, what we should be thinking of is there any tribe or anybody that is trying everything to extinct the Igala kingdom by way of action? Don't forget also that by the character of leadership that the Igala nation possessed before colonization, we had enemies that surround us. Because if, for instance, Anambra, Delta State, why do you think they won't be jealous of the Igala kingdom? Because of the way we were with them those days. Masquerade were used from Igala kingdom to go and collect tax in Nsukka. Right now, even up to now in Delta State, there are some persons that if you meet them, they will tell you, yeah, we may be here by migration, but our origin is the Igala kingdom. So some of those things are things that all these people that have some cultural perspective, cultural information and cultural background should start advising those that need to be advised, so that we can now start harmonizing or restructuring the Igala leadership structure, so that we can really understand what God has given to us, not necessarily making it look like our major problem is that we have lost the seat of the governorship.
All right,
what we have in Kogi is more than the seat of the governor. If we realize what we have, if we know what we have as a people, we will know that governorship position in Kogi State is the least of our problem.
Okay, now finally, sir, what is your, I want you to look at your leadership vision for the Igala people, especially as you round up now.
The vision of the Igala people that I envisage is that will be in continuum, purposefully. You see, like I gave an analogy of you having a son, myself having a son, and we want to hand over, see, hand over the leadership structure of our various family to our son, positive one. If our fathers have failed, we shouldn't fail our children. You understand? So the question now is that we must set a short-term plan,
okay.
A short-term template or plan, a medium-term plan, and also a very long plan. By that I mean we have to start paying attention to those cultural norms that unite us. We have to start paying attention to the ethics that unite us. We have to start paying or giving respect to our elders as we have now. One of the things that politics has done against the Igala nation is that any Dick and Harry can wake up in the morning to start insulting elders. In the name of, I belong to political party A, you belong to political party P.
Which is not good.
Which is not good. The first time I delved into politics to really understand how we play our politics was in the last election, 2023. And you see somebody who cannot even write or speak good English insulting somebody who has already paid his dues down up to the national sphere. And so somebody must not say, Yaren, Taki Mudaman. Somebody, but the way you go about your activities, you talk down on elders. I'm not saying elders who want to sell the kingdom,
yes,
because they want to get. Again, talking about selling of. Okay, let me land on this. Elders who want to sell the kingdom because they want to be politically relevant.
Yeah.
Another thing again, I want to, before we round up, please, though this is not part of your topic, is that I am looking at a period where anybody that wants to use the Igala kingdom to win political patronage from his political leader, that person, even though he comes back home, that person should not be voted.
Why do you say so?
That is because you cannot sell your kingdom and you want to rule your kingdom. Why do you want to sell your kingdom to rule your kingdom?
But political parties is
yes, I understand.
Different from cultural
parties. You can also sell your candidate and sell your political party without bringing out your kingdom. You sit down, you talk down on Igala leaders, past Igala leaders, and then you still want to come back. You just want your political godfather to see you as and that is why I also want to advise. that be it PDP, APGA, APC, anybody from the Igala extraction that wants to denigrate the Igala kingdom to win political patronage, that person should not come back home to vote or to be voted for. Yes, you want your political leader to see you as somebody who is steadfast, somebody who is this powerful, somebody who you can rely on, and then you want to look down. You look at the one that pains me most is that somebody somewhere recently in Ankpa was saying that we had Ibro and we also had Wada, but that what did they do for us before now? And I say, is this guy, and this guy wants to contest for House of Rep? Let him come and win the election. Let us see. So I want to beg political leaders, PDP, APC, APGA, Labour Party, any Igala son who denigrates the Igala kingdom to win political patronage or favor, that person should know that he has lost election in Igala kingdom. You cannot look down on your people and then you want to represent them at the national or state level. And I've told people to win election in Kogi State for any political party is easy. Especially in Kogi East. How? Go and select the best 11. All you need to do is to select the best 11. Select the best 11 from Kogi East. But when you want to compensate political thugs to represent us because you won your election, that is why development is not coming. Why should you to compensate people, the thugs?
All right.
You want to compensate thugs?
You need to round up now because
I'm rounding up. You want to compensate thugs because they help you to win the election without minding what the people are going through. You can rig anybody into office. Any political party can rig anybody into office. After all, you go to court, whatever the court says, we obey. But I'm saying that even though you want to rig people into office, rig our best 11 into office for us.